First things first, I'm a big man. I have no problems in admitting when I was wrong. My co-host, he's playing Anthony today, so I'm going to act like that's Anthony Sellers next to me. My co-host, Anthony Sellers, has been preaching. We got playmakers. We need to get Duke Johnson more involved. We need to get Nick Chubb more involved. He's been screaming this.
Yes.
And I've been going back at him saying, you know what? They're good players, but I don't know if they're the answer. I'm not saying I don't like Nick Chubb and Duke. I just didn't feel like they were Pro Bowl players. Well, I feel like I need to give Anthony his props on knowing what he was talking about, and me to say I was wrong. I was wrong.
Just a little bit.
What's up, y'all? That's Kelen Conley.
That's Eric Jordan.
And this is
Browns in Our Blood.
Way to go, Brownies. Way to go.
W.
I'm
finally here for a W. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
I'm excited that you're here, too.
Oh, thanks, man. Anthony could not be here. He had extenuating work circumstances. But
yeah.
I'm Anthony this week, just like I was Eric 2 weeks ago. So.
What did you think about the Browns' win over the Atlanta Falcons? Man, let's get into it.
28-16. What are your thoughts on the Falcons game?
First things first. I'm a big man. I have no problems in admitting when I was wrong. My co-host, he's playing Anthony today, so I'm going to act like that's Anthony Sellers next to me. My co-host, Anthony Sellers, has been preaching. We got playmakers. We need to get Duke Johnson more involved. We need to get Nick Chubb more involved. He's been screaming this.
Yes.
And I've been going back at him saying, you know what? They're good players, but I don't know if they're the answer. I'm not saying I don't like Nick Chubb and Duke. I just didn't feel like they were Pro Bowl players. Well, I feel like I need to give Anthony his props on knowing what he was talking about, and me to say I was wrong.
Just a little bit.
Man.
Just a little bit.
Nick Chubb's looks amazing.
176 yards.
Duke being utilized, it did translate into wins. So that's where we're going to start there. 2, what stuck out to me? The defense. Holding the Atlanta Falcons to just
16.
Man.
That's a high-powered offense.
That's a high-powered offense. Felt Joe Schobert being back, felt his presence. Yeah. I thought, me and Anthony was talking about the matchup between Ward and Julio. Ward should have had a pick.
Yeah.
Had a pick.
This close.
Yeah, I mean, you only could do so much. Julio still did his thing, but...
And you didn't give up a big touchdown to Julio. You literally gave up a 1-yard touchdown to Julio Jones. You can live with that.
I can live with that.
You can live with that.
I can live with that.
100%, man.
I can live
Julio's
with that.
a beast.
Defense really shined more than anything. That's what I was really impressed with. But let's jump to this whole thing with Baker, Kitchens, Greg Williams.
Yeah.
There's noticeably a difference there.
There's been a huge difference.
He looks more free. I'm talking about Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Baker looked more free. The play calling seems like it fits him better. Hey, all I can go by is what I see, man. And they look free. I can't remember this, but I don't think they got a penalty until the second quarter.
I meant to check on the penalties, but the penalties are way down. Y'all had a season low last week, I know, against the Chiefs. And the trend just seems to have continued with this big win this week.
And I know we said that when we were talking about Hugh and Todd being let go, that one of the main things that concerned us was penalties. We felt that was a reflection of the coach. So if that's a reflection of the coach when it's bad, it's definitely got to be a reflection of the coach when it's good. And if we only got like 1-2 penalties in the first half, the team's playing better, man.
Yeah.
Team's playing better. Let's just get to it. Team's playing better.
Getting healthy.
Baker looking like as advertised.
Like a number 1 draft pick.
Looking like the number 1 draft pick, the Heisman, and all that, and the future. Man, it makes you think, though, man. Whew. What could have been?
Yeah.
What could have been? I don't, what I'm saying? This record might be totally different. I mean, Atlanta Falcons I'm just sorry. That ain't no easy win, man.
No, it definitely isn't, because the Falcons can put up a ton of points in a hurry.
Yeah.
And they just weren't able to do that against the defense. The Browns actually held them to 92 rushing yards altogether. Or it might not even be that. But it's a season low for the Falcons. I mean, they got Coleman. Yeah. They got Ado Smith.
Well, they got weapons.
Yeah, and even we just watched the highlights again. Looked like the Falcons were getting first downs. And there was a couple long runs. There was a couple passes that got given up. But the main thing is when the Browns had to dig in, they dug.
Right.
They dug in. That goal line stand was
That
huge.
goal line stand was huge.
Super huge. I mean, they stopped the 2-point conversion.
Yes.
They shut down any opportunity that the Falcons could have had to build momentum. And that was detrimental to winning. And it didn't hurt that they didn't trail at all in the game.
Yeah.
They didn't trade field goals for touchdowns this time. They literally went out and just it was 14-10 at halftime. They put up 14-0 in the third quarter,
Right.
and then they just held them off. The only touchdown in the fourth quarter, man.
What you just said, man, that they never really trailed. And they looked free about it, too, and confident. That is a sign of coaching.
Yes.
Now, I don't know if that's coaching by subtraction, or that's,
I think it is.
or if it's coaching by addition. Because let's say Greg Williams and Kitchens are just coming in there doing things that's right. I don't know if Kitchens and Greg make a better environment in the building, or it's just got some poison out of the room. So,
and to address something you said last week about not thinking that Hewitt lost the locker room.
yeah.
I agree that I don't think it was a problem that the players weren't listening to him. I think the issue came from them bringing in an offensive coordinator because he was in charge. They brought in Todd Haley, a strong personality.
Right.
You had two alphas. And he was not an alpha in my mind, but he's the head coach. So he has to try to be an alpha as much as possible.
Right.
You bring in Haley, who's definitely an alpha.
Right.
And they butted heads like from the start of camp. And obviously, it didn't come out to the recent weeks.
Right.
But I really think that...
We got a little taste of it on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, a little taste.
Little taste.
Yeah, when they were arguing at the table.
Yeah.
But I really think that was the main problem. And that's the reason that they both got fired like they did.
Last week, I think I bashed management about that, too. They have to get their props, too.
Yeah.
So if Haslam and Dorsey, but if we continue to go forward, that's a good job. Our administration staff seeing a problem and taking care of the problem. And I'll ride with that.
So are you now saying the Browns have playmakers?
Look, man. Yes. No. It's a yes/no thing. Because yes, we're getting the most out of our players, and they're making plays.
Mm-hmm.
But my definition of playmaker, and I think I said it earlier. I think this one I think this defines it better. I define playmaker for me, Pro Bowl type playmaker. That's what Pro Bowl and playmaker kind of goes to me. And I think that was the problem. The definition wasn't completely, said right between me and Anthony, because Anthony's talking about, no, we got players who can make plays. But when I say playmakers, I mean
all pros.
All pros. Baker, Miles, those are, to me, on our team, those are playmakers. Future Hall of Famers, maybe.
Nick Chubb keeps this up. He's trying to get himself Offensive Rookie of the Month.
Yeah, and then Nick Chubb, I never really said Nick Chubb was not a playmaker. I just don't have enough sample size on him. Mm-hmm. Even though my boy Bobby Stamps down in Georgia.
Bobby's been talking
about him and Sony Michel. So it's like Georgia Bulldogs looking good. Chubb's a playmaker. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We done seen enough. I mean,
the Carlos Hyde trade is, I'm okay with it now. I was mad. I was not happy.
I don't know what else I need to see. First time he touched the rock.
Instead of franchise record 92-yard run.
Yeah.
Like the longest run in Brown. That's crazy.
And his size is deceiving.
Yes.
And then he's not big enough to be like a power back, but he is a power back. Birth to him where you don't think he's too fast, and he's super fast.
And he can catch the ball.
Yeah.
Out the backfield, he caught a touchdown.
Yeah.
He had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, so, good job seeing what we needed to do, guys.
Yeah, and they got Chubb in the second round, right?
Yeah.
It's a steal.
Yeah, top of the second round.
Top of the second round.
Yeah. So, good job with Dorsey and Haslam with, your vision.
Yeah, very happy. Yeah. Very happy with the results of this last week's game.
Yes.
And the narratives coming out of Atlanta side, oh, we took the Browns lately or whatever. No, y'all got beat. Yeah. It wasn't like close and y'all had a couple opportunities. Right. The Browns just beat y'all.
Basically, if we can be in a fight with the New Orleans Saints to the end, and you see what the New Orleans Saints are doing right now, I'm sorry. We can ball with anybody.
I mean, you're 3-6-1 now.
Yeah.
Bye week coming up.
Right.
Bye week's perfectly timed finally.
Perfect.
I was thinking the bye week was forever away, like 2 weeks ago after the Steelers lost and then the Chiefs lost. It's like, man, they really need a break.
Right.
But for them to come out and smash the Falcons like they did, even with the Falcons having their problems on defense, they're still a formidable offense, and that should have been a shootout. Right. In all intents and purposes, and it wasn't.
Right.
So to have that momentum going into the bye week,
right.
Y'all going to Cincinnati next week after you take a week off.
After the bye week, do we beat the Cincinnati Bengals?
The Bengals aren't as Bengals as we thought they were earlier in the year. Like, we thought that would be a true test.
I'm straight up tell you right now, it don't matter. We're beating the Bengals. We're beating the Bengals next week. We're beating the Bengals after the bye. But I got to keep referring to my co-host, who's not here today. But he's been saying this too. He's like, this will be a perfect setup for the bye week. Going into that, I'm going to have to give him props with that. Every once in a while he right. Every once in a while.
He's right more often than not.
Whatever. He right every once in a while. He was definitely right about getting one of these wins. The Falcons or Kansas City. And Kansas City, I was completely like, nah, bro. But then going into the bye week, gelling as a team with the bye week, man, that's perfect. Coming off a win, going into the bye week.
It's huge.
It's huge.
It's huge for a young team. And again, you beat a Falcons team that was 2 years, 2 years removed from the Super Bowl.
Right.
We all know what happened there, but still, that is a team.
Yes.
A team that any given Sunday can run you into the ground.
Yes.
Matt Ryan's looking awesome.
Yes.
And now you're going to Cincinnati. They're turning backwards. So I think the Browns. No, I don't think the Browns are going to win in Cincinnati too. I'm going there too.
Yeah, Browns wins in Cincinnati. I see that.
Just so we're clear, y'all played 10 games. Y'all got 6 games left. If y'all win out, you could finish 9-6-1. 9-6, and that might be enough, depending on how everything falls. I mean, it's just something I want to put out there.
Well, I'm just saying. What was my prediction? I think 6 games, right?
Yeah, you did say 6 games last time.
I'm just trying to get to my prediction. I ain't worried about playoffs on that. Let me just get to my prediction. Is Greg Williams the one? We just watched the Greg Williams victory speech. I have a theory.
Ooh, I like theories.
What if John Dorsey takes Baker to the side and says, "Hey, it's just between me and you. You're gonna be here for long here. You're gonna outlive a lot of people to come in and out these doors.
Yeah.
You're our investment. We're investing into you. I got you 3 head coaches here. By week 3 or 4, why don't you tell me which one you like the best?"
Oh, wow. So you're saying Baker the GM, in a way.
I mean,
wow.
Come back to that meeting 3-4 weeks later. Baker's like, you know what? I really get along really well with Greg Williams. Todd, he's temperamental sometimes. Hugh, a little Hollywood for me sometimes.
Wishy-washy.
Yeah, but I like Greg.
Okay.
I know what I get with Greg.
Wow.
Just a theory.
That would be amazing if that's what actually occurred there.
Right. Yeah.
Just from watching the speech afterwards, though, you could tell like Baker ran up to Greg and was like, like it was like one of the boys.
Yes.
And I hadn't looked at anything else. As far as like the other 2 times the Browns won this year, but I didn't see Baker running up to Hugh or Todd with that same enthusiasm. It could have just been in the moment. I mean, they literally whooped the other teams behind.
In fact, I've actually seen Bake make a play and walk right by Todd Haley. Not even like a hand dap or nothing.
Right.
That interaction, what you're talking about, is huge to me personally. What I saw, the way that he came up and like that, like you said, that was one of his boys. They both laughing. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it might be something there, man. Greg Williams might need to keep an eye on that. That might be this dude, because I think most people are being like interim. That's how people are thinking.
I almost made suggested one of the topics be, is it time to remove the interim tag off Greg Williams? Because even in 2 weeks, I was like, give this man a job.
Yeah.
I know y'all were talking about Arians last week.
Yeah.
And that would be cool if you were able to bring in somebody like Bruce and what Bruce has done.
Yeah.
But, and Bounty Gate aside, I always really like Greg Williams. And the defense is the one thing that's really stood out from last year.
So
to
AFC
this
North.
year.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
It's the one consistent thing the Browns have had since we started the show.
Yeah.
And I've always really been watching to see what Greg is doing and how the defense is growing. And for him to take over the whole team and bring that same winning mentality and that same family, as he said in the clip, mentality to the whole team as a whole and really make it about this is us.
Right.
Without the tears, you know. But to really bring that feeling, that emotion, that rawness of we are a team and we're going to fight every week.
Right.
That's special, man.
That's special. And you think about our division. Harbaugh, that's a defensive-minded coach.
Yes.
Tomlin, that's a defensive-minded coach.
Even though the Steelers' secondary is terrible.
yeah, but you
can't do everything.
Yeah, but just 1 year away, they had one of the baddest defensive players in our conference. Our division is defensive-minded. And just seeing our number 1 pick in that kind of laid-back, having fun attitude with his head coach, Greg Williams might be the one, y'all.
He's flourishing, man. But Baker is flourishing.
Greg Williams might be the one.
I noticed this when I was watching highlights the other day. I saw it again when we just watched the highlights again. When Baker drops back, what I love about him is he drops back and he just looks ready to throw it 40 yards every single time. And then he can do the dump off for 11. Yeah. But then he can still crank like the touchdown to Higgins. It was like he dropped back. He had to scramble. He was going to get sacked. He was looking for Landry. And then he found Higgins in the end zone, man. Baker's
Baker's
everything. He's amazing.
Told y'all about Rashad Higgins. He only had one catch. It was a touchdown.
And I'm going to give him this because he did. I was arguing about, what about Callaway? Because Callaway is a big name coming out of camp. Higgins is back now. I really think that that 1-2 punch of him and Landry, I think we could see Higgins become maybe someone that you will look at as an All-Pro next year. Next year.
Maybe.
Again.
I can see that. We talked about it.
And Landry is bringing the leadership that they need. I think I would definitely like to see more from Landry, but as we've found out, he's a possession receiver.
Right.
He's not going to go out there and get you to 10 catches and 120 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Right.
He could do it given the right situations, but he's a possession receiver.
Yeah. And that's another great thing about Baker this week. Man, I think Duke had the most receptions with 4 receptions. But he spread it out to everybody.
Yeah.
2 here, 2 there, 1 there, 2 here, 2 there.
Did you know Baker didn't miss a pass in the first half?
No, I did not.
12 for 12 at halftime. Wow. I knew the Browns were winning then because I caught the score after I got back in the house from everything. I spent 2 hours at Denny's. It was a long ordeal. Yeah. Anyway, Baker was 12 for 12 in the first half.
Yeah, we got it right, baby. Mm-hmm. We got it right. And last year's pick, Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett and Bake, good building block.
And Myles wasn't even a factor this week.
Yeah.
Like he had 1 tackle, you said?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously they constructed their game plan to shut down Myles from interrupting their game plan. But for Myles to be able to lay back and still have the Atlanta Falcons only be able to put up 16 points and then the Browns the offense finally backed up the defense.
Yeah.
And they gave them a game where it's like, look, we got this. Y'all just go out and do your job without us. Like, yo, please get us a stop so we can try to win this game, you know? Yeah, the offense put it on their back this week.
And good job, Jamie Collins. Leading with nine tackles. You staying at the top of the stats.
That fumble recovery.
Put the lock on the game.
Nice.
Yo, man. Good job, defense. That's our heart. I know Baker's going to get all the love, but defense, it's y'all. Play fantasy football with us on FanDuel.
So then we have a FanDuel league. And in this week, I won. I won FanDuel. Yes, I did. This guy finished third. Anthony didn't play, but again, work stuff. MI was second, and then Gary finished fourth. So you got that over Gary. You beat him this week.
I'm still the champ. You got the ticket from my dead hand. Until you win the whole thing, you don't get this thing. You might have won the week, but I'm still the champ.
I do got to update us on our total scores. In first place is Monstalung at 11-19. But I'm on those heels at 10-36.
He's creeping.
Yes, sir.
He's creeping.
Creeping. I'm coming.
It's okay.
I'm coming for you.
Get your hands off of it. You're getting close to it. I'll let you smell it.
I don't need to smell it. I know what being a champion is like. 5-time fantasy football champion. Right here. Right here, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm about to catch up with you. Hey, if you want to play FanDuel fantasy football with us every week, we play every Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Yup, the link is right
1
down
p.m.
there.
games.
Yup, 1 p.m. games. Get in. It's a $2 entry fee. Mm-hmm. Get in there and you win some money, man.
Yeah.
You can win some money.
And if we don't have enough people, you get your money back and you still get to play.
And you still get to play. Bragging rights.
Yeah.
And if you do win the season league, which is going to be hard.
Yeah, it'd be really hard now.
Yeah.
Because you got to put up a lot of points in a short amount of time to get close to where me and them's at.
Because right now,
I missed 2 weeks and then
either it's going to stay with the champ or it's going over here. No.
Make sure that you are following Monstalung Soundvizion on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. When you hit that bell, you never miss a notification of anything that this man posts. But mostly, you never miss Browns Under Blood.
Yes.
Also, it's posted on Facebook, so you can find it on there, on Monstalung page. Always posted right there.
Yep.
Shout out to all the Browns groups that you guys are a part of.
Definitely.
Appreciate the feedback. Love the comments, guys. Love getting the feedback. He responds to everything. I jump in and respond a couple times.
Also, big shout out to Elliot Kennel. First, he has a Facebook page that hosts our videos. It's called Browns Bloggers and Friends. But he also writes for dogpounddaily.com. He features quotes from me and Anthony. Actually, last week, I was in on one of his articles. So big shout out to Elliot Kennel.
And you didn't post it. I could have shared that all around.
Actually, I posted it today. So
okay, I'll check it out.
So it's out there today.
Cool.
Yeah, but definitely check that out at dailydogpound.com and Browns Bloggers and Friends on Facebook. Elliot Kennel, he's a great friend of the show. A great friend of mine before the show. Hyphen Podcast Group. Make sure, if you're into podcasts, you can listen to the show in podcast form. You can get it on all streaming medias. And or
wherever
go to,
podcasts are sold.
yeah, and go see some more of his other podcasts that he hosts on there at hyphenpodcastgroup.com. You can also get Hyphen Podcast Group t-shirts, and you can also get your Browns in Your Blood t-shirts.
Grand debut!
Yes.
Finally!
You can get these
Look
down.
at that logo!
You can get these shirts. The link is down in the description box. Like I said, he has Hyphen Podcast Group t-shirts also.
I do.
That was a big. The link for that will be also down the bottom. So yeah, man, get a shirt.
Appreciate that.
Represent your favorite vlog.
I'm gonna get a black one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Got hoodie. What's hoodie town? I'm about to get the hoodies.
Nice.
I got the hoodies, the t-shirts. Even got stuff for women. So go check it out.
Even got stuff for the ladies, for you Browns fans.
No
out
doubt.
there.
We will not be here next week. We're taking a bye because us vloggers, we need that break every once in a while. We'll be back the next week after that for sure, right when the Browns come back. So you heard our update for what we thought about the Bengals, and then we think we can beat the Bengals.
Beat the Bengals.
So yes, we're going to take next week off, get a little rest, and come back refreshed to cover the Browns as we go into the second half of the season.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Looking to win 6 straight.
Yes.
Have a winning year.
Yes.
That'd be lovely for you guys.
Lovely. Once again, y'all, that's Kelen Conley.
And that's Eric Jordan.
And this is
Browns in our blood.
Good job, Browns. Good job, Browns. Good job.
Got that W!
Yeah.